I am not the kind of teacher that gets asked to give commencement speeches. I rarely work with the kind of students who get to make the choice about who gives their commencement speeches. But hey, I have a YouTube channel. So if you're graduating this year, this is what I would say to you if I had the chance. Because, well, I've got the chance here on my YouTube channel, where I can do pretty much whatever the heck I want. I want to talk about the great tragedy of life, which is not that it will end and eventually be lost in oblivion, or that it involves pain and loss and hurt and sacrifice. All of this is true, of course, but these aren't the great tragedy of our lives. The worst thing about life is that we only have one. And that means you have to make choices, or that choices will be made for you. It's all well and good to pride oneself on choosing the road less traveled, but the truth is, had you chosen the road with more people on it, you would have met an entirely different set of individuals, some of whom might have enriched your life in beautiful ways that you can't even begin to imagine. That choice, too, would have made all the difference. With all due respect to Mr. Frost, every choice makes all the difference. 172 years ago, when I was attending high school, there were aptitude tests, just like in Divergent. There were interest inventories. These were designed to tell you what you would be good at, what might make you happiest in life. The aptitude tests returned their results in a sort of a bar graph, with certain occupations and activities with higher bars indicating those areas where you would be most likely to be successful and areas not so successful lower. My results looked like a tabletop. Counselors explained to me that I could choose any career and have an equally fair chance of success. They hailed this as a great range of opportunity. All I had to do was decide where I wanted to focus my energies. I felt that this was no help at all. The interest inventory plotted your results on a circle, where the outer ring was marked with different types of activities along the outside. I don't remember exactly how it was laid out, but you can imagine things like logical placed opposite emotional, or science and math opposite arts and letters. My icon always wound up right dead center. I was equally drawn in every direction. I felt that this was also no help at all. I was due to become a jack of all trades, a master of none, and so I headed off to Alma College, Harvard of the Midwest, go Scots, and quickly found that they'd been right. Everything was equally interesting, and I was, relatively speaking, about equally likely to succeed at whatever I put my mind to, and equally likely to fail at everything I neglected. One thing I failed at was calculus. This was disheartening. Not long before, I had scored the highest score anyone from Grayling High School, go Vikings, had ever achieved on the Michigan Mathematics Prize competition as a junior. But then, at high school, I had never had a girlfriend, and I had never had calculus at 8 o'clock in the morning. At Alma College, all too often, I chose to be with my girlfriend at 8 o'clock in the morning rather than choose to be in calculus class. And it cost me, but it was my choice. And it was a good choice, because she was a wonderful girlfriend, really. I screwed that up. A year later, I discovered another girl, and she was wonderful as well. And I wasn't very good at making a choice. The Lovin' Spoonful song, "Did You Ever Have to Make Up Your Mind?" might have been written expressly for me. And for too many years, I played that same song over and over. I did finally get married, and guess what? It was to a wonderful girl. In fact, at that point, a wonderful woman. And I screwed that up. I didn't often make up my mind, because all too often, everything is interesting. But you don't get to have everything. Eventually, you have to make choices, or eventually, they will be made for you. I was in my 30s before I really understood that. I left a rocky road behind me and finally chose to commit to a career I love. I finally found a woman I could choose to stay with and raise a beautiful pair of kids that we chose to have. I am happy with the choices I've made, the good ones I've made lately and even the bad ones I made earlier. But I'd be lying if I said I never wondered about the choices I might have made, the roads not taken, whether they were more or less traveled by anyone else. And I feel the pain of life's greatest tragedy. You can't have it all. I can't tell you what choices you should make, whether you should choose a straight and steady path that leads to success, or choose the chaotic road of excess that William Blake suggests may lead to the palace of wisdom. But I can tell you to choose yourself. As much as possible, make your choices informed and conscious decisions, but you won't always know what lies around the bend, and some of your choices will be wrong. They will cost you, but at least they will be your choices. Decide on your values and commit to them. Choose to live consistent with your values. And don't forget to be awesome. And keep reading. I will talk to you again soon, hopefully.
Well, northbound 405 at Alameda, it looks like we have a